Very good morning to all of you. Yeah, today my target with all of you is to discuss review for the final exam. We need to talk about couple of things like abstract class, interface, polymorphism exercise, and a design case study. But you all know that we have pretty much done, almost during mid exam, and I'm very happy that you all are actually having a very good preparation in the meantime. But let us have a small discussion of today. We start with the abstract class. You see, what happens, abstract class means we define a class using the abstract keyword. And once you define an abstract class, you really cannot use that class to create an object. You understand that abstract class most of the time act as a super class for all classes, so that that class generally we don't use to create object, but yes, we can use abstract class to create a reference. If you take a look at an example here, like an abstract class shape, but this class has also an abstract method display. You see public abstract void display, but you understand abstract method means it doesn't have any body. You just put a semicolon after the declaration, but put an abstract keyword. So what happens as a result, if you make a method abstract, all its child, whoever comes as a child of the shape is a superclass, every child must implement this display method. So this becomes a responsibility of the child to implement the display method, because you declare the display method in the superclass shape as an abstract method. You take a look at this UML notation. I am sure you're familiar. You can see that in the UML notation we put an italic to represent that it is an abstract class, and we have a protected data member here. Location, why protected? Because every child must be able to get this property. And last but not the least, you can see also that there is a shape constructor and an abstract display method. So this UML notation actually is shaping out our representation of an abstract class. Before I take you to the case studies, just to declare, discuss a little bit about interface. Interface is one technology in Java that helps you to attain multiple inheritance in Java. So it's almost like abstract class. But what is the difference between abstract class and interface? An abstract class can have a concrete method, like you have a constructor in the abstract class. You may have some other method in the abstract class, but in interface you cannot have any concrete method. Concrete method means method with a full body. You do not have any kind of concrete method in interface, and you can only have declarations of method and some constant. For example, if you see here, we have a drive interface. We have two method declaration. One is start and another is stop method. Both are actually void type, but no method body, because these methods are treated as automatically an abstract method for the interface drive. So what happens when you're using this interface, your responsibility will be to implement these two methods. You have to write, you have to do some act in that particular method, so that this interface is used in your class. And if you take a look at a UML notation, we put actually angle bracket to represent an interface, and we define these two method declaration in the UML notation. So what we are doing actually is a kind of a little review on abstract class and interface, and you understand that polymorphism you can only attain if you have inheritance and if you have overriding in both the parent and the child. So I will actually take you into a case study now, and this case study is very interesting one, because I thought that why not we do a design exercise. And if you see here in this case study, the problem is that rectangle is a shape, circle is a shape. That means both rectangle and circle is shape. All shape has location. That means this location is a property which is shared across all child. So this property must be protected so that every child gets it. Rectangle has height and width. These are actually private property of rectangle. And circle has radius. Radius is a private property of circle. But I put something interesting is that rectangle has circle. So if you analyze this case, you see that this case study particularly has a very specific relationship. You have inheritance, you have association, you have actually, sharing of property among the child. So if you draw this particular object model, you see that shape is an abstract class, location is a protected data member, you have a constructor, and you have a display method which is also abstract. And you have two child. Rectangle is a shape. Rectangle has private member, height and width, both of type integer, and a constructor, but you don't have any display method. Why? Because display is an abstract method in the superclass, and this will be implemented by all child. So your rectangle has automatically a display method, and circle is a shape, and circle has radius of type double, and circle has a constructor. So guys, you look at it, this model, and my suggestion is that I need you to write down the Java code and upload this code in the Google Classroom. I hope today we did a very interesting discussion and a small review on our understanding of the object-oriented programming, especially preparing for the final exam. And my target for final exam is abstract class, interface, and inheritance all together. You develop a model, and from that model you write code and you try to answer some of the questions. Hope you guys enjoyed this session, and I get to see you in the Google Gmail, in the Google Meet. Yeah, take care, have a good day, bye bye.